Today I've got an old pressure washer here. This just happens to be a Troy-Bilt 2.3 gallon max, 2700 psi. The pump is good on this. First thing you want to check, especially if you live in a colder climate, is make sure that you didn't leave this sit outside and the pump is cracked. That is not the case on this one. But what happens on this one, when you go to start it, if the water pressure from the garden hose is turned on, so in other words your supply pressure is turned on, you almost can't pull the engine to turn it over. It's like it's locked up. And that's a pretty common problem if you've got one of these that's been sitting around for a while, especially if you used it once or twice and it sits for a year. This valve down here gets stuck. And I'm going to show you real quickly how to get this apart and clean it up. I'll show you here. I actually have a valve, but it's not the correct one for this pressure washer. But all this is a little valve that relieves the pressure. So when you shut off the wand, you let go of the pressure washer wand, relieves the pressure so that the motor can continue to run. It also prevents water pressure from the pressure washer, high pressure from backfeeding through your supply hose back into your garden hose. You really only need a couple tools, either a pair of channel locks, adjustable wrench, or a wrench that actually fits it. In this case, it's a 21 millimeter. If you want to replace this part, that's pretty easy too. I got to take it apart anyway. I'll show you how to replace it, and an Allen wrench. All right, and here's a little tip. If you've got this issue and you're going out to start pressure washing right now, you just need to get this running. You're going to fix it later. If you hold the wand, in other words, if you hold the wand before you try to start the pressure washer, sometimes you can get this thing to start. While you're doing that, you're relieving the pressure so that this valve is not in use. And what that'll do then is allow you to pull this over to start it. But as soon as you let go of that wand, if this valve's not working, it's going to kill that engine because the high pressure has nowhere to go and it's trying to deadhead against that engine. If you let go of it though, that valve's not working, it'll die. That's another story, just to get you out and get you started. We're going to show you how to fix this up. The first thing you want to do is go ahead and remove your supply hose so there's no water coming into it. This has a quick disconnect on it, so I just took the high pressure hose off too, just to make it easier to get in here and film. All right, so this is the piece we're going to focus on today, and this is the unloader valve. And what this does is unloads the pressure. When you release the wand, that pressure is going to spike up, shoot back in here. This actually has a real heavy duty spring, and the higher pressure your pressure washer is, this is 2700 psi, the higher that pressure, the heavier duty this spring is going to be. So that is important if you're purchasing a new one. It's pretty easy to just swap this out if you plan ahead. Unfortunately, I don't have the correct one for this, so we're going to take it apart and clean it so we can use this thing today. All you do, take a 21 millimeter wrench in this case. Yours may have a different size, but these are all pretty similar. You can actually hear that spring in there. You can hear it's dry. So we're going to take this off. That stays in place to go ahead and get this piece off so we don't have to try to do it later on. But if you've got a vise or something and this whole thing comes out together, that's fine also. But I like to take this piece off the front first. And if you have one of the other style valves, some of them are only one piece, so you'll just pull the whole thing out together. In this case, this one does have the protective cap on it. It's actually coming out pretty easy. There is a spring and two little brass pieces in here. Okay, so when you pull this off, there's a little piece there. I'll show you here. You got a little piece here. It's just a little brass cap. You've got a spring here, and then there's one more piece. These pieces fit in the end of that spring. The only thing in here is your adjustment screw, and this is where you set the pressure. So the tighter you screw this in, the more pressure you're going to get out of this pressure washer. Now you do have to be careful with that, because if you adjust it in too far, it may be too much for your systems. There's nothing else in there, so that piece is good. Just make sure you don't lose any of these parts, especially if you're working on this out in the yard. This should be the same. Yeah, we're going to go ahead and break that loose. Nothing in here that's going to fall out, but there are some pieces in here I'm going to show you how to take apart and clean them up. And then I'm going to show you a real quick tip here at the end on a product you've probably already got at your house. Put this back together and help this last a lot longer so this doesn't happen again. Part to replace this is like, I don't know, 16 to 20 bucks depending on where you get it. If you just want to swap this out, put a new piece in here, I'll put a link down in the description so you can actually buy this. And that way all you got to do at this point is just put the new one back in. If you don't have a new one and you want to fix this today, that's what we're going to do now. This piece here, we'll clean these up a little bit. There's really not much to do here. This is the part that sticks. This shaft where it runs through here, you can see down there, there's that little Allen head. This is where we need the Allen wrench at. So I'm going to take this over and put it in the vise. This also has a flat spot on here so you can get a little wrench on it. I'm just going to go put it over in the vise. This piece will screw off, and then we can press the shaft out and clean it up. All right, I'll show you before I put this in the vise here. Down inside here, make sure you get the right Allen wrench that fits in there. And then we're just gonna take the flat sides of this little nub here, clamp it in our vise. And if you've got a wrench that fits it, you can do that too. I just figured it was easier to show you this on here. All we're trying to do here is screw this tip off here. That's loose. Usually they're a little tighter than that. Just screw that off. I'm gonna thread it on there, there's a couple threads just so I don't drop it when I loosen my vise up. But that comes off just like that. I'm gonna take this back over there to the workbench and show you what to do from this point. Okay, so once you get this piece threaded off the end, all we're gonna do is take this and press it out. Just be careful you don't mess up the threads. In fact, I'll screw it back on there, just a couple of threads. You can just push that down. Once you get it started, as long as it's not too bad stuck, you can put this in your vise too if you have to and press it out with the vise. And then if that sticks, this one just fell out, but you can also take your Allen wrench and just push that out the bottom. Now that I got that out of there, I can see why that fell out so easy now. A lot of times, and what I expected here is this will get corroded. Gets a lot of buildup and stuff in here and it won't let it slide in and out. That does not appear to be the case on this one. If you look at this, there should be a second O-ring. There's two that are generally stacked right here, and there's a smaller, thinner O-ring that goes right on the edge right here. That's why this thing's probably not working, is because I say they're missing, but they're probably in here. Yeah, there's smashed in there possibly. I'm gonna say there's not many places it could go. Since it's not on here, when we clean this up, I'll see if we can find it. One thing that's really good to have on hand here is an O-ring set, just a bulk O-ring set. This is what I'm talking about. This is just an O-ring assortment set. I think it's 320 pieces, 380 pieces, plus whatever else I've thrown in there. This comes in real handy to have around when you're doing stuff like this. Usually that lid is hinged on there, but the hinges are broke off. It just comes with an assortment of all different sizes. We're not gonna need anything that big. What I'll do is I'll take this piece and I'll go through here and say this O-ring, this is a 011, 011 that I think should fit this pretty good. So we'll pull that off of there. And these little O-ring kits are very inexpensive. If you do any kind of work like this, they're nice to have around. And I'd say this one that looks thinner, if we stretch this one a little bit, because that's gonna be, I don't know how well that'll show up on camera, but that needs to be a little bit thinner, and I don't have thinner, so I'm probably have to go smaller and just stretch it on there. We'll go ahead and put those on there. Since I still want to get this thing running today, hopefully this will take care of our problem. Definitely not what I thought it was originally. A little pick like that comes in handy if you're trying to get this on here. I think these will work. That is the 011, which I assume is 11 millimeters. This is 010. I assume that's 10 millimeters. But all I'm gonna do is slide this on here, and there are two, trying to make sure I show you this. There are two O-rings that go in this groove right here. Only one goes right here, and this is a little bit thinner. Don't know if it'll work or not, but we're gonna try it. Worst case scenario, we gotta put this off to another day and just get a new one of these. This is where the pick comes in handy. Don't poke it, but kind of get in beside it, and then you can kind of roll it off of there and get it to drop down in. So there's two O-rings there in that center groove. That should be good enough to seal this thing up. At least till I can get another valve anyway. I really want to get this thing going today so I can get out and do some pressure washing. And then what I'll do with this piece is I'm going to get some steel wool, and we're just going to clean the center out of this. And I do see something down in there looks like part of the O-ring, so I want to make sure we get that out of there too. Something else that comes in handy, you're going to need some fine steel wool. So SOS pad out from under the kitchen sink, whatever. Just any kind of steel wool. What I like to do is just stick it down in the middle of the steel wool. Just spin that around and get that all cleaned up. Now when we get this back together here, I'm going to show you a lubricant that I guarantee you have. And we want to be very careful not to damage this O-ring. We're going to do the same thing here. Again, don't damage these O-rings, but just get this cleaned up real well. What I'll do is just pull off some of this steel wool so we can kind of get it like that, and then I'm going to twist that up, and I'm going to thread this down through the center of this valve so we can clean it up. Usually right about now is when people decide whether they're going to try to fix this one or just buy a new one. So all I did was just pull that steel wool out so I could pull that down in there like that, and I'm just going to spin this around, clean up the center of this so it gets really clean, so it's a good smooth surface in there for that valve to slide in and out on. Alright, once you get that all polished up, show you what I got here. It's a little rubber seal here, and it looks like that's come off there, and at some points got smashed underneath it. I'll go ahead and show you how to put this back together. Oh, and we almost forgot, a little tip for you here. Make this thing last a lot longer. Just get some simple Vaseline. Most people got it in their house for whatever reason. Just go ahead and put a little bit of this on there. This will help to keep this from corroding. Put that in there. That'll help to seal it up real good, help it to keep it sliding real good. You can take your Allen wrench and just kind of work that in there easily. And just push that on back through there. And go ahead and put this cap back on. We'll tighten this down. That should spin freely and should easily push in and out. And that's all it takes to get this thing to work the way it's supposed to. And I'm gonna do the same thing on this. So I'll put some Vaseline on it. Just get a little glob of it on there. You can stick this right on the end of it. That way it won't fall off when you turn it upside down, or you can just put it in there like this. We're gonna do the same thing on this end. Just put a little bit of Vaseline on there. Slide that down in there. And then you can thread this back together. Just make sure that little piece doesn't get cocked sideways when you put it in there. Before I put it back in the pressure washer, go ahead and hold this side, and then I'll take my 21mm wrench and I'll go ahead and tighten this side down. You can get that pretty tight, but just keep in mind it is brass. All right, then all you do is just take this and we're gonna put it right back in there. If you don't put some kind of lubricant on this, it's real easy to damage those O-rings when you put this back in there. I'm not going to put a torque wrench on this, but tighten that down to about 20 to 25 foot-pounds. Tight, but not too tight. We'll go ahead and hook up our soap line here. And I'm going to go ahead and get this thing hooked up here. All right, I'll show you here what I like to do before I actually try to start this thing up. Got the supply water turned on, and the reason I do that is just so in case there's anything in this system, it'll purge right out of here, get out the hose before I hook the wand up. I'll let that run there just for a few seconds, then I'll hook the wand up, make sure this thing's working the way it's supposed to. Hopefully working the way it's supposed to. All right, I got the wand back on there. The first test here will be, will it start? And will it die when it starts building pressure? All right, just to recap here a little bit, I don't think this thing's 100% by any stretch of the imagination. I do think with a little bit of minor adjustment here, I can get this thing running good enough for what I've got to do today. I will go ahead and purchase the valve. In fact, I'll put a link down below. If you'd rather just pull your old one out, stick a new valve in there, that's the easiest way to go. If you plan ahead, it makes this job much easier than what I went through today. I'll also put some links down there to the O-rings. Those come in real handy if you've got jobs like this that pop up unexpectedly. If you've got something like this where you just want to get it running, you don't want to have to wait for parts, it's real nice to have those O-ring sets on hand so you can do little jobs like this. Anyway guys, I hope this saved you some time, money, and frustration, gave you a little bit better understanding of how this system works, and gives you more confidence in being able to do this job yourself. Until next time guys, thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next one.